Great rising, loves. Great rising. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. Thank you all for coming in and hitting that like button and sharing this video. Thank you all for who have come in. Tyrese, how you doing? Nene baby, great rising, sis. Darren, Marion, greetings, brother. Thank you all for coming in. Thank everyone for coming in, showing your love, showing your support, hitting that like button and sharing this video. And I appreciate everyone who doesn't just show up for problems and issues, okay? Although there's nothing wrong with that, because there's people who want to know what's going on, who are interested in the juice, who, you know, hey, maybe want to hear another side of a story or things like that. But, you know, sometimes people have things to say. Oh, excuse me, y'all, my tea kettle. My bad. Let me go take my tea kettle. Let us be thankful for that whistle, right? And just boil all your tea away. Okay, like I said, you know, sometimes people feel like they might have suggestions, you know, or opinions, and, you know, they don't show support to the other videos that you do. They constantly seem to be commenting under or inside of the videos that they seem to be trying to complain about. And my thing is this, you know, you want to support the platform, support the platform. There are plenty of links in the description box, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and drop this Cash App to start out with. Okay. So many people said, so I see your links and everything, but you don't have Cash App. You don't have Cash App. Cash App is popping. That's what we use. Cash App, Cash App, Cash App. And so now I have Cash App, and I'm waiting to see where these people are. Okay. I'm waiting to see the Cash Apps from all these Cash App yappers. All right. Okay, baby doll. I got what you need right here. Okay. Now you come on and bring it. You know, some people are just talk, right? And no show. And some people just like to show and be about that talk. And that's about it. So if you support Soul Alchemy, you are an alchemist yourself. You know, it's not just about what you're looking for here on YouTube, because there's more to Aakasha than just YouTube, right? That's why I have these links in my description, and I will be continuously dropping them throughout the show. And if my mods would assist me in dropping these various links so that my audience can know that there are options for them to go other places, to get in contact with me, um, for things further than just what they see, because some people seem to be limited by things that they see on YouTube. Like YouTube is it, and it's not. It's just one platform. That's all it is. But I have other websites, and there's just so many things to Aakasha. But if you want to see this YouTube platform continue to grow, then you need to be more supportive. I need them likes, give me them shares, and definitely, that financial support. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about Beyond Meat real quick. I did talk about Beyond Meat somewhat before. I did, what was the Impossible Burger? Yeah, we talked about the Impossible Burger. It came around with this slutty vegan um, business that they have here in Atlanta, which is booming. And they have a food truck and a restaurant, and they use the Impossible Burger for the most part. A lot of places are using them, and I, been talking about these meats and things a lot here on this platform. You can just go into my video archives and just put in a keyword search, and you'll find a lot of that stuff. You know, you'll find a lot of that stuff. You have people that come through and cause distractions, right? Because they can't keep your name out of their mouth. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. These are the videos that people seem to not pay much attention to, but other people want to try to claim that they don't exist. But you could check my archives and see that they definitely exist. Okay, and they don't only just exist here on this channel. They exist on my other platforms where I provide a plethora of information. Okay, thank you. So we broke down the Impossible Burger, and I decided that that's not for me. That's not going to work for me. I'm not going to be eating the Impossible Burger. If you want to go check out that video, I did like 2 or 3 videos on it, and it's no shade to Slutty Vegan, because that a sister owns that restaurant and everything, and just because your brother or your sister's running a business, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that's good for you. Okay. And people line up all down the block and everything for hours at a time for those burgers, and it's a 2-burger limit on the Impossible Burger. It's a 2-burger limit. Like, you cannot get no more than 2 burgers, because they don't want to run out, because they're so popular and people wait in line. But people seem to think that because they're saying this is a meat replacement or this is a vegan option, that it is, a good thing. And another thing that I do is I talk extensively about other ways that you can make you a meat burger, if you will, like an imitation or a version of, out of things that are definitely 100% vegan. You could do that easily yourself in your own home. We go over recipes and things like that, not only on this channel, but again, Links are in the description. Okay. But you got to be careful because you're supposed to do research. I'm a big fan of research. Big fan of research. But it just depends on you. It just depends on how much you care about what you're putting into your body. Some people aren't a big stickler about those things. I am. I am. I am. And not just because I want to be, but because I have to be. Okay? I have to be. It is very important what I put inside my body. Okay? If I eat or drink the wrong thing, then, I'm going to have a bad day, a bad week, as to where some people, their bodies can tolerate um, a lot of different foods that may not necessarily be good for their bodies, but they don't seem to have any problems with it. I was never made like that for some reason. I was just never made like that. Okay. I always had to be very careful about what I eat. And that has not changed. And so when it comes to nutrition, then I have to give my body what it needs to function, what it needs to tell all the cells and all the organs in my body what it's supposed to do and give it strength to do that. And I have nothing more, nothing less. That's how I roll. Okay. So, and that's a good thing because it can make you somewhat of a machine, right? It really can. But, hey, I, junk doesn't work for me. It doesn't. It doesn't. So the Beyond Meat is basically still processed food, in my opinion. It's similar to the Impossible Burger in the way that they make it, and there's a lot of controversy around it. And it's still created, therefore it is processed foods. You know, this is something that they create. So why wouldn't it be? So reading an article, it says twice in June, ingredients used by both of Americans' most popular plant-based meat companies were called into question. On June 21st, a consumer interest group issued concerns around one of the ingredients in Beyond Meat's production process. And earlier in June, the World Health Organization said that eating heme, a main ingredient in the Impossible Burger foods, is linked with the formation of carcinogens in the gut. And if you go back to the video that I did breaking down the process of creating the Impossible Burger meat and the ingredients that they had in there, we talked about this heme in great detail. Okay, we really, really broke that down. And this is something that they use mainly because they want to recreate the taste of blood in the meat. Okay, think about heme, what that word means. So for me, guys, my thing is this. I get for some people, if you're transitioning from things that you're used to having, then you may sometimes want to uh, simulate that. If you're used to eating burgers, you may want to simulate that. People even make vegan hot dogs or, all kinds of pulled pork, all kinds of things like that. But for me, although I know how to make them and I can do it for other people, I don't do it for myself. These are things that I walked away from a long time ago, and I don't have no desire of it. There's a wild boar that runs loose around here, and we hear this analogy used by this boar that she used to be on crack. Now, we're not gonna make fun of that because it's not something to make fun of. But she uses an analogy of she used to be on crack, and she says that she's not going to tell people to stop smoking crack or start smoking crack or something like that. But you know, I think people are confused as to what this boy is trying to say, and I'm going to try to help you out. If she's not smoking crack anymore, why would she tell you to smoke crack, right? She's not going to tell you to smoke crack. And she's not going to sit around and take some baking soda and other ingredients and create something that looks like crack, but just isn't crack. It's not as bad for you as crack, right? And then imitate her smoking crack. Well, if that's the case, then she's still feeding that desire to smoke crack. And so she may as well go ahead and go back to smoking crack. You see? Now, hopefully that was helpful. Okay? Hopefully that was helpful. And you guys can finally understand what the boy was trying to say to you. And I'm going to tell you the same thing about meats. Okay? If there's something that I want to leave alone, I'm going to put it out of my mind as well. I'm a spiritual person. Okay? I'm going to put it out of my mind, and it won't be no longer a part of my desires. It won't be a topic of my conversation, but as someone who is an instructor, you know, and a mentor, you know, people will request these things. So I can assist them with these things. But as far as myself, I won't say, I want a burger, right? But I'm not going to eat meat. I don't want to eat a dead animal's carcass and their blood and the pain that they had when they died and all of these things, right? But I want to simulate just that. For me, mentally and spiritually, I am still manifesting upon myself the same things that would be happening to me if I was actually doing that. All right. So I'm re-simulating that so that I could recreate that same energy. That's what it means to me spiritually. So if I go and create a burger and I want to get it as close to meat as possible, and see, this is what I hear a lot of people do. And to me, it just doesn't make much sense if that's something you're leaving alone. And you want it to taste like meat, you want it to look like meat. And now they have the heme because you want to have that blood taste, that bloody, you know, look and smell and all of these things. Well, I might as well go get the flesh and fry it up in a pan and eat it. Because people can go through Bible scriptures and they can quote things that will say, you know, thou shalt not covet. And if you think it, then, you know, it's the same thing. And words are powerful, you know, all these things we want to say, but then we'll turn around and we'll walk away from something and we'll say, because it's bad for me. But then we'll turn around every chance we get and we'll give in to the desires, the mental and emotional desires, and we'll keep that attachment and we'll try to recreate that and we'll keep bringing that upon ourselves and upon our bodies. So we're still telling ourselves that we still wish for everything that was bad about that to happen to us. We still do. So why not eat a burger? And this is a good way that they can get you. Okay. Because they know that a lot of people are weak. A lot of people are weak, and a lot of people won't just let it go. Do the work, let it go. Cleanse yourself, change your palate, let it go. But they'll tell you, here we go. This is the closest thing. It will taste just like it. It will look just like it. And we're going to give you that same experience. If for some reason you feel like you're getting all of that and you're doing something good for your body, you're doing something healthy for your body, and you're not. And especially for your mind and your spirit, you're not doing something good for your mind and your spirit, because guess what you're doing? You're still eating a burger. You're still telling yourself that you don't care about yourself. If you don't want a burger, you don't want a burger in any way, shape, or form. Now, if you want to be creative with your food and you want to recreate a burger or something similar to a burger because you can, because you're creative, that's what you want to do. That's what you can do. But to sit here and say that I want to have a burger because I miss burgers, but I'm not going to eat a burger, think about that. And like I said, when you're buying these foods, anything that's not fresh and you didn't pick it out of the garden, then it's definitely going through a process. So yeah, it is processed food. But this heme that they're using, is definitely something that has been in question. It's in question. Now, the Impossible Burgers are a little trickier, definitely because of the heme. Definitely. But it's all still processed foods. So it's up to you to decide what you want to do. But if you want to get a burger substitute, then why not go to Five Guys and just get the real thing that you miss? If you go to any of these places and you get a processed fake burger, what's the difference between that and a processed real burger? And on top of that, you have no idea exactly. I have researched some of these replacements, and we could start with the fact that they're creating them right there along with the rest of that greasy mess, right there along with all the other foods that they're making. So you got the process of contamination right there. So I'm going to read some more of this article. It says, for their part, Beyond Meat has explained that the consumer group is wrong about its use of the chemical called hexane. And hexane, this pea protein, is extracted using a water-based process, says Kelly Wilson of Beyond Meat in a statement. There are no other solvents that are processed at no time, and it involves no use of other exposure to hexane in any way. Plant-based meat companies are ultimately making processed foods, but their marketing is more aligned with natural organic offerings. Now, hexane, you can go in your kitchen. If you are a plant-based eater, you can go in your kitchen. I could go in my kitchen right now. I could take several things and I could whip it up and I could make a patty. I could make it into a patty style and eat it. Simply because it's easier for me to eat it that way. Right? I could take chickpeas. I could take lentils. There's all kind of stuff that I could take. I could use my food processor. You could be very creative, and you could take all your herbs, all your seasonings, and you could whip up something really good. You could even make a loaf, like a meatloaf. You could do all of that. Why would you need to go to the store and have them put all this extra stuff in there? And when you get to talking about this heme and hexane and stuff like that, these people want to imitate a taste of blood. I don't know. Is that something you were into when you were eating meat? Eating blood? Yeah, Nene, that's what you make hummus with too, chickpeas. They have a lot of variety to them, but you just got to be creative, if you want to find different ways. Eating plant-based isn't boring at all. It's just a matter of your creativity. And sometimes you just got to, look for different ideas and recipes, and then you'll know that it's endless. But it says plant-based meat companies are ultimately making processed foods, but their marketing is more aligned with natural organic offerings. I was encouraging the plant-based companies to recognize this a couple of years ago, says Jack Bobo, a food technology consultant who works with companies making meat alternatives. At that time, the companies didn't seem to consider the fact that the groups opposed to genetically modified processed foods and will eventually come after them. They often tried to position themselves as being in the organic, gluten-free, natural product space. Bobo says. Now, Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods are increasingly facing questions around how their products are made. The first backlash, arguably, hit in 2018 when the U.S. Food and Drug Administration expressed concern over a key ingredient in the Impossible Foods burger. Again, you guys check my video out. We talked about that. And this is about heme. It's a hemoglobin, or for short, they call it a heme, and it gives the burger a meat-like flavor. And it's soy-based. It's soy-based. All right, and that's the thing. As I've told you guys several times before in videos like this, that a lot of vegan or plant-based processed food places, restaurants, you have to ask them what are the ingredients, because soy is one of the biggest things that they use in quote unquote meat replacements. And soy is not something that you want to consume. And I break that down several times in videos. Especially guys, whether you want to have more children or not. Okay. Soy is something you want to stay away from. You know, we take that all the way back to George Washington Carver and break that one down. So, you know, eventually they got the nod of approval, but you know, money talks. You know how that goes. It said an even newer category of meat alternative companies would do well to pay attention. Cell cultured meat products, just Outfit Farms and Memphis Meat, make animal protein that doesn't require the slaughtering of animals. If the plant-based meat concerns catch enough public attention, they risk hurting the perception of all meat alternatives, including the cell cultured products that haven't even hit the market. Anybody can poison the well for everybody, says Bobo. Some cell cultured food companies are tackling their messaging even before products hit the shelves. We spend a lot of time trying to make sure everyone understands what we are doing, says Mike Selden, the co-founder of cell cultured fish companies, Fineless Foods. There's just too many people, and they don't all go for the same news and sources and channels of communication. But some messaging has to wait. No matter what, a lot of our communication is going to be right at the end point of use, like in a restaurant on the menu and what it tastes like. You know, this is becoming a big thing. Replacing dairy and, you know, other meat products, these companies, because it's on a rise, just like this whole fake woke shit. B1, you know, people are imitating being B1. That is popular because there's money in it. It's a market for it. But you have to make sure that you know what you're dealing with. Are they for real? Are they really about that life? Is this really good for you? Or is it just something that's actually deceived and packaged as something good for you, but indeed it's going to hurt you? And it's not hard to find out. It's not hard to see it. All you got to do is research. All you got to do is look deeper. All you got to do is look deeper at what is actually there and tell yourself whether or not that's for you or not. Is that good for you? Does that help you? Does that build you up? Does that give you mind, body, and soul what you need? Does that progress you? Does that take you higher? Now, do you need imitation? Do you need process? Do you need extra ingredients to imitate something that you're trying to get away from? No. It says that as Bobo explains how people use language around their product matter, especially when consumers are shopping and eating in an environment in which there's suspicion, much of scientifically unwarranted around genetically modified ingredients and the health impacts of processed foods. Yeah. You know what Dr. Sebi says? If it's in a package, then there's your answer right there. It's been through a process. If it's processed, it's dead. It's no longer alive. It does not serve you. Even people present themselves in a package. They're processed. They're processed. It's not authentic. Listen to their language. If it's not good for you, if it's not uplifting you, if it's not empowering you, then it's going to kill you. Possibly slowly, but it will. You may be enjoying it, but it will. You may enjoy the taste of this burger, but it will. Just like the meat. People seem to think that you need protein. Okay. As someone who likes to lift, I tend to feel like I might need protein because I might feel a little weaker. So, I'm on the fence when people say, oh, our bodies really don't need protein. I think we need a healthy balance. Okay. And, me being plant-based, I'm good on protein because, there's a lot of protein in a lot of plant-based foods already. People don't realize that. Most plant-based foods are high in protein, very high, But I do a lot of hemp, a whole lot of hemp, nut seeds and stuff like that. I do stuff that, is full of proteins, tend to be like bulky, but it's for the muscle because I work my muscles. You just got to do what works for you, but you don't have to take on dead carcass to get it. There's a big difference when you eat something that is alive, actually, and can literally feed you rather than something that is dead. You should know the difference. You should know the difference. It may seem like it tastes good because that's what you're accustomed to, that's what you're used to. But at the end of the day, you'll see the difference in the benefits. You can see its package, its process, like how people present themselves. If people are fake with their packaging, the fake nails, fake eyelashes, fake hair, they're hiding, then, that's too much. They're hiding too much. You don't know what's behind that. You don't know about this character that you're getting while they're telling you they're authentic. And this quote unquote food that they're feeding you, listen to the language of that. I mean, if you really listen to it, is that helping you? Is that feeding you? No, it's not. It's not something that will give you longevity in your life. It isn't. You listen to how they talk about their people. That's death. That's not life. That is death, not life. This is death, not life. So it says for these meat alternative companies, the issue boils down to how they truthfully and thoughtfully communicate what they're making. I disagree. But you can pay attention to that too. You can pay attention to how people communicate to you. They truthfully and thoughtfully communicate to you. And, they feel like they have thought it out pretty good. Just like the confession we heard yesterday that was broadcasted and celebrated. With I lied, I tricked, I infiltrated, I was clever, I outsmarted, I deceived people that I was close to. Yay, let's celebrate this. How is that for you? How is that for Black people? How is that helpful for you, mind, body, and soul? What does that translate to you? And Gale University, welcome, by the way. Peace, Lady Les. They are altering our genetics to control our mental and emotional state. Food is information, so what you eat, you become. So if you eat the dead, the only thing alive is your subconscious to be programmed. Isn't that something? And that's something. So if you take in that, then yes, as Gaia says, reprogramming your subconscious that this is how you move, because this is why we hide. This is how you move, because this is why we hide. We scheme, we scam, we trick, we lie, we deceive, we disguise, we hide. We're not here to help you, but we'll lie to you and we'll try to trick you, and we'll do all of these things to try to trick you and let you know that we're good for you, but actually we are not. And we're showing you that we're not. It's right in front of your face, but it's up to you to determine for yourself what is and what isn't. So these companies can try and convince you that this is good for you, this is not good for you, this is healthy, we're not going to hurt you. Oh, it's heme, it's just to here to imitate or replace, or but you got to ask yourself, what is the truth? What is really good for me? What does my body really need? What does my mind really need? What does my spirit and my soul really need? Now it says Beyond Meat stock prices climbed more than 500 since its initial public offering in early May, from an opening price of 25 per share. And when these companies do come out, it's generally a good time to get into the stocks of them, because this is the growing thing here. Imitation foods. You remember the movie Imitation of Life? Imitation of food, which is an imitation of the offering of life. It's still not offering you life. The same way meat doesn't offer you life. Some people tend to argue that, but how can dead flesh offer you life? And if you feel fulfilled when you eat meat, when you eat dead flesh, then I would beg to offer that maybe that's just because that's what you're accustomed to, because it does what you take in does reprogram your DNA. You do know that, right? And you can't tell me that our DNAs haven't been reprogrammed over the years. Look at how we are now. Look at how we are now in comparison to how we used to be. Look at how we think. Look at how we act. Look at how we move. We have less discipline, less control, less individuality. It is really hard to find original people with their original style. And when you do, they are highly criticized. Highly criticized. Because people try to make you think that they're supposed to be like everybody else. They're supposed to think like everybody else. They're supposed to move like everybody else. They're supposed to wear masks like everybody else. They're supposed to follow along with the growing crowds, the most popular things, and be zombies and be dummies and offer up themselves. You said I have 8 dislikes already? Really? Talking about Beyond Meat? Well, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button. Get those likes up. Share this video. I mean, that's what it's going to be. You know? So far, I see 14 likes to 14 dislikes. So it's up to you guys to, support the content versus the bullshit. You know, I had a wonderful person that be in my chat, you know, tell me last night that I'm losing focus and I'm becoming like the rest of them. And my thing is, no, I'm not. But, but, isn't that what they want you to do? Isn't that why they call your name? Isn't that why they drag you into that shit? Right? Because they want you to waddle in the mud just like them. Animals, goats, pigs, boars, right? They want you to waddle in the mud with them, back to back, day by day, waddle in the mud, waddle in the mud. And then essentially, technically, that's exactly what you're doing. That's why I say, if there's no end game, if there's no actual conclusion to this that makes sense, then it's pointless. It's pointless. But sometimes people don't have an end game that makes sense. Sometimes they just want to keep you stirred up in their mess. And sometimes they don't even deserve your attention. They don't deserve your response. Just like they had this guy come from bringing up stuff from 2 years ago, right? Dragging up things that involve a lot of people who done moved on with their lives, moved on with their platforms. And only dirty people are going to come back and waddle in the mud with them. That's what they want. Anybody who enjoy now, I may make a face mask for myself, right? Once a month or something like that. In fact, I think I'll make myself one today. I feel like I need to cleanse my face. Now, I might use activated charcoal. I might use bentonite clay, maybe some red clay, and some other things, some apple cider vinegar, and get me a good hard mask on my face. Now, that mask, even blend up some avocado and put it on there for some soft conditioning. It's even better when you do the mask, you take it off, and then you use the avocado mask after it. And when I get finished, it pulls out impurities. It clears my face. I even put some turmeric in there. It smooths out the blemishes. See, I'm giving y'all shit for free like I always do when I be going through my videos. Freshens my skin, opens up my pores, keeps my skin healthy and glowing. I don't need no makeup because I do all these types of things to take care of myself with natural ingredients. I don't need to waddle in the mud. I don't need to get dirty. I don't have a problem putting my hands in nature. I don't have a problem putting my hands in natural ingredients and knowing the properties of, right? And taking this and making this alchemy and making it work for me. Mud is only going to get you dirty. It's only going to get you dirty. And then what? They might hose each other off, come back and get dirty again. Hose each other off, come back and get dirty again. After a while, they just stop hosing each other off. And that's what you see now. They have stopped hosing each other off. Ain't no need to try to play like they was clean. Just go on and let them know we dirty. But a lot of us already knew you was dirty because that's what you are. That's what you attract. That's what you like. You're animals. You're farm animals. You like to play in the mud. But that's not what's going on over here in Soul Alchemy. We talk about alchemy over here, you know? We are alchemists over here. And I don't need to hear nobody try to compare themselves to me because I am me. And nobody else can be me, just like you are you, and nobody else can be you. And nobody else is above or below you unless they put themselves there. And if that's where they put themselves, then that's on them because they put themselves there. But it matters where you put yourself. Nobody else's permission or approval is needed at all. And so you know what's good for you. And you know what's not good for you. And if you don't know what's good for you and what's not good for you, then it's up to you to decide to do the research and find out and, you know, make those choices. And you got to learn how to see through the BS. So in conclusion of this article, they say from the perspective of cell culture meat companies, that early resilience could even make it easier to enter the market. Bruce Friedrich runs the Good Food Institute, a nonprofit that represents, supports, and sometimes lobbies on behalf of both plant-based meat companies and startups working on cell-cultured meat. Okay? Cell-cultured meat. Again, if you check out the videos I did on the Impossible Burger, this is meat that they are creating in the lab. And we already know that a lot of these animals that they are feeding you, like when you buy the meat in the store or you go to a restaurant, they have been created in the lab already from original, okay, from the origins. Like these animals did not exist originally by the creator. They were created by man just for you to eat. And they've even gone further throughout the years to reconstruct these animals in different ways. And he who controls your food controls everything about you and everything about your future generations. It controls the way you think, the way you move, the way you operate, the way your body functions, you know, what kind of problems you have medically, mentally. Food is not just what you eat with your mouth, it's also what you take in through your head and your eyes. It's what you watch, it's what you listen to. And there's a lot of BS going on around here. And it's quite catchy. It's quite catchy. And you know, sometimes people peek in here, peek in there. Hey, okay. We all do it. You know, sometimes I want a pizza. I pay for it after I eat it, but sometimes I want a pizza. But if this is what you're consuming on a regular basis, then that's what you're saying that you want to be. That's what you're saying that you want to program yourself to be. You start to think like that. You start to move like that. You start to talk like that. You start to act like that. You form your relationships off of these thought processes. You begin to neglect the things that you are supposed to do in your daily lives because you're putting aside too much time to be focused on this BS. Now, you just remember when these people came on the scene and had these long 8-hour panels. And so I don't know what they do lately because I haven't been, you know, paying attention. But yeah, you know, I recall they had all these long, long, long panels and just nonsense conversations all night long. A lot of arguing, debating, discussing, and stuff. You know, I'm a Libra. I'm all about balance. Put it on the scales, make it balance, make it work, because you have to have a well-balanced life, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And it's about what you get done in that day. And just imagine if you're spending 8 hours a day listening to some bullshit. Now, if you want to set aside 30 minutes or an hour for the BS, go ahead. But when you put 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, are you where you want to be in life? Where do you see yourself? What's your goals? Where do you see your children? Where do you see your grandchildren? Do you have an empire? Do you have a legacy in place? If you die today, your legacy is intact. Do these things matter to you? If so, have you established these things? Are you good on that? Do you know your purpose or purposes on this planet, in this world? Have you even started the journey to make sure that you have found them out? And are you fulfilling them within yourself and for other people? And this is for starters. If this is not even things that you're doing, then how do you have hours and hours and hours a day for fuck shit? How? Because you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. You're killing your future. You have to invest in you every single day. What you eat, how you take care of yourself, your morning routine. It's important. Your habits, they are important. You have to break your bad habits. You just have to. If you was eating meat and you don't want to eat meat no more, why go around looking for a meat substitute? You know, that's like the wild boar going around and trying to make some fake crack rock to smoke. She might as well go smoke crack. Let's make sure we getting those likes up, sharing this live stream so that you know, YouTube will know that we do like this live stream, regardless of what people are trying to say. You know, what do you do for yourself in the morning? What do you feed yourself? What do you listen to at night before you go to sleep? Because 9 times out of 10, that is what's going to be playing in your subconscious, the last thing that you were listening to, the last words that you heard from a person. What kind of feelings did it give you? Was it good affirmations? Was it loving words? Or was it drama? Yeah, a positive live stream is good. I mean, you know, Zen music, as I like to call it, is good. A nice playlist, you know, make sure the megahertz is good. But I mean, you'd be surprised what people fall asleep to. I've heard people say it on a panel yesterday. I fell asleep while listening to this. All right. Well, you are being programmed. The last show that you watched, you are being programmed. Even hours before you go to sleep. If you put more of the negative into your body and your mind and your soul than you do the positive, then you will not be on your purpose. You will be off your purpose. You will become that. You will. And we are not investing in ourselves properly. We are not. All of the things that I know that I need to do for myself throughout the day cannot get done if I give into distractions, because it's taking the time away from something. And I have a lot on my plate throughout the day. Even taking time to do a live stream is taking time away from me. I may be able to craft something while I'm doing a live stream, but it's still not as effective as if I was focusing on that craft, because I'm still having to pay attention to what I'm saying and, pay attention to the chat and stuff like that. So my attention is divided. So it takes, time out of my day to even do a live stream, right? So if I'm going to be on YouTube, then I need to make sure that this is something that is serving me, serving others, or I'm wasting my time. I'm stealing from myself. And you can go and you can listen to BS and you could participate in BS and it entertained you. Yes, it did. But how did it help you grow? Did it just take your mind off of something that you're going through, that you're dealing with? I don't know. Maybe there's other things that you might need to be doing with those things that you're dealing with. And that's another conversation, you know? But shout out to Rifa, okay? Shout out to Rifa. And sometimes we just have to check ourselves and pull ourselves back, right? And that's what it is. And it's what you give energy to that grows. If you give energy to the platforms that dwell in the negativity, that do the underhanded, undercut stuff, then that's what's going to grow. The ones that don't mean you're no good, don't really mean that people are no good, then that's what's going to grow. At the end of the day, that's it. People can tell me all day long, oh, so you're supposed to be doing this, you're supposed to be doing that. You ain't supposed to be dealing with that. You ain't supposed to be participating in that. Well, how would you? That's like telling your child not to go out here and listen to Cardi B, not to go out here and do everything else that you see all of the other children doing. They're getting all the attention for doing it. It's what's popular. And there's always someone around them trying to distract them and coerce them and pull them in some kind of way. And if they don't have the right support system around them, covering them at all bases, then eventually they're going to get pulled in. Eventually they're going to get pulled in. So if you just tell your son, when you go out here, don't do this, don't do that. And then you go to work and your son goes out the door and boom, it hits him in every way, from every direction. And you've got nothing else in place but just your words. Good luck with that. Because he might be holding fast to your words and he might know on the inside, this is not what I want for me. I'm better than this. I'm destined for something greater than this. But the evils are all around and they're always trying. They're always coming. They're always coming. They're always coming. No, your job is bigger than that. Your job is bigger than that. You can't just say it. You're a soldier in this army too. So you got to do your part too. You can't just sit in front of them and smoke the cigarettes and say, don't you smoke though. Don't you smoke. No, you got to put the cigarettes down. You got to quit. Even if you have to protest against smoking. Even if you have to tell other people why smoking is not good for them. Sometimes it takes that for the message to really, really get across. But you can't just sit there and pass a judgment or make a statement and think that that's enough. Because I guarantee you, evil is working 10 times as hard as your mind or just your words. They're working 10 times as hard. And the proof is in the numbers. The proof is in the numbers. There's 18 people here. If it was a drama title, it would be more. Way more. If it was carbonation or it was some beef, I'm yelling at somebody, then the numbers would be up. And I do have a high suspicion that the numbers are even at this number because people felt like this was going to be something like that. Even though I'm still talking about and addressing the issue, it's in a way that people thought. But I'm pretty sure that the numbers are at this level because people thought that. And if you look at the other platforms and you see the type of support that they get, and then you look at the type of support that I don't get in comparison, then it's a no-brainer as to why the fuckery gets all the energy. They get full support because there's a lot of dead people walking around here. There's a lot of hurt people. There's a lot of people who don't want to go forward in their lives. There's a lot of people who aren't trying to accomplish anything. And misery loves company. That is true. These people aren't trying to go anywhere. They aren't trying to do anything. You said my lady friend wants to go. Aakasha told me I can't say no, so I won't be saying no the whole weekend. I know that's right. I know that's right. And we were supposed to do another show last night. I'm not going to tell you guys the topic. I don't want nobody to steal it. But we got what? One more day of Hangouts? Let me see. Today's the 30th. Oh, we got 2 more days. Okay. So tonight, today's Tuesday. So tonight, hopefully, he'll come on and I'll see if Nicole and or whoever else want to come on. Another female and a male, maybe Rainy Woman wants to come on, and we're gonna do some couples talk tonight again. Again, I wanted to do it last night, but maybe tonight will be a little better. And we're going to piggyback off of what we were discussing in that last show. Okay. We're going to piggyback off of that, and we're going to dive more into a particular area from there. Okay. Yep. Because there was something that was said while we were having this conversation about can guys say no, and it was just I felt like it's something that doesn't need to go untouched. So we're gonna get more in depth about that, and I'm trying to say it without saying exactly what it is that we're gonna be talking about. But it's gonna be about couples, and it's gonna be about the romantic life, the sex life, and stuff like that. And it's all about creativity. It's about being creative. It's about having a loving mind, a loving heart, a loving spirit, and keeping that passion going, keeping that respect for each other, and compromise is always a good thing. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't make you less of a man. It definitely doesn't make you less of a woman. Since when is a woman not supposed to compromise? She doesn't have to beat her chest on anything. But there's nothing wrong with a guy compromising. I think I at least thought that we were way past that. And, the brother BMT is always welcome back. I love it when people have a different view on the subject. And so, I saw him in the chat last night, so I think we're good. Although I did send him an email, letting him know I appreciated him coming on. And, he was a crowd favorite. A lot of people, especially Rifa, really liked him and the things that he was saying, and he's welcome back. But I just felt like at the end of the show, by the end of the show, he was not, I guess his message wasn't well received or something. I don't know. Maybe we need to get at least one more guy on here that, kind of rocks with his ideology. I don't know if he's of a pill type ideology, or I don't know what that, is about. Um, I've listened to a couple of his videos, and I didn't hear anything about relationships. He covers different topics. So he just has a different viewpoint on relationships and relationship management than I do. That's all. So, but it's interesting, and so I want to get into. Um, I want to branch off of some of that because there's something in particular that he said as to how he deals with his spouse when she says she wants it and he's telling her no. Okay, and this is what you're gonna do, and this is how it's gonna be. So we're gonna expound on that, and I'm gonna give some alternatives, if you will, that I feel like would make for a more interesting, a more exciting, and a more loving relationship. You know, more fun. So hey, isn't that something? It seems like I do have people, a lot of people over here, and I gotta go. I'm supposed to be somewhere. Uh-oh. I gotta check my mileage now. I didn't realize it was 11 o'clock, but it seems that I have quite a few of you guys over there. Um, don't pop up too often at the same time, but yeah, there's a couple of other guys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And at the end, like I said, at the end of the show, it just seems like, he was just like, but keep that same energy. It's okay. I mean, we're not gonna always agree, and I get it's not his platform, but that doesn't mean anything. It's just we just having a difference of opinion. Nobody's here to dominate or change anything, not at all. So, it's all good. It's all good. So we're going to do the show again tonight, and hopefully tomorrow as well. And after that, we're going to be mixing it up. I'm going to also offer you guys phone calls. Okay. I know I said that before, but if you want to call in, I'm going to give you guys the call-in number where you can call in. Oh, shoot. Well, how about that? Well, thank you, Ledford. I am just now seeing this. Ledford is now a Patreon. I hope you didn't mind me announcing that. I'm looking at my emails right now, and it just hit me. And I appreciate that very, very much. I sure do. Oh, yes. This is going to be great. Wonderful. I definitely appreciate that support, brother. Definitely. So, again, I hope I don't have to reschedule my appointment due to traffic. Well, if I do, then that just means I get to put in another live stream in between. All right. So, let me hit these comments real quick, you guys. I appreciate everybody for coming out. I see you deep with the animals in the chat. Shout out to the goat, the pig, and the boar. Okay, hope they're having a good morning. Miss Mona Michelle, thank you so much. Hold on a second, guys. Greetings, honey. Give me about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna call you right back. Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. All right. Lady Legs. You said you seen this before. There was only 6 views, but the dislike was 14. Well, YouTube do be off sometimes, so it's hard to know. But just y'all make sure when you come in the door, hit that like, and just check because sometimes they take the likes away. You said Gaia University. Thank you for coming through, sweetie, and adding to the conversation. You said haters can't stop knowledge. Resistance is futile. You are obligated to ascend one way or another. The easy way or the hard way. Useless feeders will be reincarnated until they get it. That's a fact. I believe that. I believe that. So we rocking on the same wavelength as far as that's concerned. Zeus, good to see you. Good to see you. Blue 77V, uniqueness is the best quality to me. Absolutely. You get bored seeing the same thing all over and over again, you know? And we get it. Disguises are quite common these days. Everybody wearing a mask, everybody wearing a disguise, inside and out, you know? But, you know, who can reveal themselves and be comfortable with themselves and still be glowing in positivity, you know? Negative is played out. And fake positivity is played out as well, you know? So people always want to try to take you down at a level where you got to battle and be within drama all the time. And everybody ain't rocking with that, you know? Everybody ain't rocking with that. And shout out to Rifa, of course. Akia Woolly Hair, greetings. Thank you for coming through. Thank you. Megly, what's up? So you got up this morning, huh? After that late live stream. Yep, we are what we eat. That's for sure. That is for sure. Absolutely. And make sure I didn't miss anybody else that came through. So I appreciate y'all participation in the chat. All tips are greatly appreciated. Shout out to Deep for being a new Patreon. Femme Fatale, greetings, love. Yes, I am on my way out, but I will be back. I will be back. And I might film while go live while I'm out and talk about something. Who knows? But I will see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy your day. Have a lovely day. July is almost over. I do not want to see fall. I do not want to see fall. So maybe we can get our stuff together and go get us a little island to live on. You know, that doesn't sound too bad. I don't think it sounds too bad. You know, we should really consider that. You know, we could be between it. Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay? In the sun all day. Why can't we do it? Huh? Who says we can't? Who says we can't? I don't like winter. I don't. Not at all. But I also don't want to be around negative people all the time either. You know? It's just ridiculous. So, anywho, I'm out, y'all. Peace.